Welcome back to another inspiring chapter. This time we explore the life of a dynamic entrepreneur, sharp investor, and visionary businessman. Let's step right into his world. There are lives that move steadily, one careful step at a time, and then there are lives that seem to leap across decades, always just one idea away from reshaping industries. Somewhere in this second category rests a man whose journey began with books, stretched across continents, and left fingerprints on some of the most recognizable names in technology. The fascinating part? His story is still being written. Dr. Simon Murdoch is not merely a venture capitalist, nor just an entrepreneur. He is the rare figure who has lived through the raw intensity of founding companies, the calculated discipline of scaling them, and the quiet patience of backing others who dared to dream. To understand Simon is to walk through the many layers of his life: scientist, entrepreneur, executive, investor, and to watch how seamlessly he blends them together. Simon's early years were shaped by a sharp curiosity, the kind that doesn't stop at one discipline. At the University of Cambridge, he pursued physics, a field of raw logic and universal laws. His Bachelor of Arts degree, later elevated to Master of Arts as per Cambridge tradition, gave him the ability to see the world as systems, to find order where others saw only chaos. But physics alone wasn't enough. He soon turned toward computer science, a world that was exploding in possibility at the time. At Brunel University, London, Simon completed a PhD in computer science. Here he dove into algorithms, software development, and the building blocks of the digital world. With physics giving him analytical depth and computer science providing creative structure, Simon built an intellectual foundation that would later make him uniquely capable of spotting opportunity at the intersection of technology and human need. In the late 1990s, when the internet was still a strange frontier, Simon took his first bold step into entrepreneurship. He founded BookPages, an online book-selling company, at a time when few believed that people would ever prefer buying books on a screen rather than from a shop. The idea was daring, the execution relentless, and it paid off. In 1998, Amazon came knocking. Jeff Bezos' young empire acquired BookPages, marking Simon's first major exit and cementing his place in the fast-growing digital economy. At Amazon, Simon took on the role of vice president for Europe, helping to guide the company's rapid expansion across new markets. For a time, he was at the heart of one of the world's most ambitious internet businesses, seeing firsthand what it took to scale at speed. Leaving Amazon didn't slow him down. Simon's entrepreneurial streak pushed him toward new ventures. He founded friendsabroad.com, which grew into the world's largest online language learning community. The platform allowed people from different countries to connect, learn from one another, and exchange cultures, a natural extension of his belief that technology should bring people closer, not push them apart. At the same time, he took the reins at Video Island, a DVD rental company. Under his leadership, Video Island merged with LoveFilm, a business that would go on to become Europe's answer to Netflix. This wasn't just another executive role for Simon. It was proof that he could take fragmented markets, apply vision, and create something scalable. By the early 2000s, Simon had already experienced the thrill of founding, growing, and selling companies. But another role was calling, that of an investor. He had not only the capital, but also the experience to guide younger founders. He co-founded Episode 1, Partners Limited, working with Chase Capital Partners to manage a $100 million fund focused on internet and technology startups. This was the seed of what would later become Episode 1 Ventures, where Simon has served as managing partner since May 2012. Episode 1 Ventures, based in London, is no ordinary venture capital firm. With over £100 million under management, the firm specializes in early-stage, software-driven startups in the UK. They typically invest between £500,000 and £3 million, seeking out founders with disruptive ideas, particularly in deep tech. For Simon, it's not about chasing trends. It's about spotting the quiet, unpolished brilliance that could reshape entire industries. Under Simon's leadership, Episode 1 Ventures has backed a roster of startups that read like a blueprint of the future. Companies such as Blink, Simplicity DX, Cloud NC, Landtech, MediShout, Triptease, Circuit Mine. global app testing, user replay, SwiftShift, Profitero, AutoPaid, and Clean.ai all carry his imprint. But Simon's reach extends beyond episode 1. As an angel investor, he has backed names that later became global phenomena. Shazam, Zoopla, LoveFilm, Natural Motion, Covister, and Shuttle. His eye for talent is almost uncanny, his approach combining intuition with the rigor of someone who knows both success and failure firsthand. Some of his more recent investments highlight his eclectic taste. Dines in Hospitality, Passion Property, Peak Home and Consumer Services, Narchi in Specialty Retail, Hereby in Information Services, Lively in Real Estate, MoveWise in Property, Fluidly in Business Software, Raila in B2B Information Services, and even global players like FanDuel and Perkbox. Simon doesn't just invest and step away. He embeds himself in the journeys of the companies he supports. He has served as a non-executive director for Carwow, Circuit Mine, Global App Testing, TV, Beat, 1 Billion, and Vision Direct, among others. These roles demand more than money. They demand mentorship, strategic insight, and the ability to steer without controlling. His earlier positions also reflect this balance. He was chairman at visiondirect.co.uk and held directorships at Profitero, Paramount Zone Limited, Shuttle, and Evi Technologies, which later became part of Amazon's Alexa ecosystem. Each role added to his reputation as someone who could not only invest, but also guide. Beyond boardrooms and balance sheets, Simon has lent his expertise to initiatives like the Baobab Network, which supports startups in emerging markets. He also served as advisor, mentor, and board observer in companies that might not yet be household names, but carry the seeds of future disruption. His involvement with companies like Dropless, a waterless car washing service, shows his appetite for ideas that combine sustainability with convenience. What ties all of Simon Murdoch's ventures together is a belief in technology's power to reshape the everyday. From selling books online in the 1990s to backing AI-driven startups today, Simon's story is one of staying just ahead of the curve, of knowing when an idea is more than just noise. His career could be described as a series of patterns: create, grow, exit, invest, guide. Yet within those patterns lies a restless imagination, always searching for the next spark. His background in physics taught him to see systems. His training in computer science gave him the tools to build them. His career gave him the canvas to apply both. Today, as managing partner at Episode 1 Ventures, Simon continues to influence the UK startup ecosystem. His guidance has already shaped dozens of companies, yet he shows no sign of slowing down. His career, spanning Amazon, Book Pages, Friends Abroad, LoveFilm, Shazam, and so many more, isn't just a resume. It's a map of how the internet evolved and how one man's fingerprints can be found in some of its most transformative chapters. And perhaps that is the most intriguing part. For Simon Murdoch, every ending is simply the beginning of another venture. He has seen companies rise, merge, sell, and flourish. He has guided founders through doubt and triumph. And still, somewhere out there, another startup is waiting for his call. Another founder is about to meet the investor who can see further than most.